Hi everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to participate in this class at least one time in the final position paper. I'm so excited to see your presentations to all my co-workers, and I thank the professor the wonderful lectures. I believe in e-learning. I'm an IT professional, and I think the potential of information technology is huge. So I believe also that technology um, is very important for human evolution or human development. So I'm really excited to talk about fracking because I'm not an expert about fracking. This is my first time that I read something about fracking or I do a little bit of research. But I think there are so many things to still investigate and so many things to create. So I think it's a wonderful and a potential field. And I believe that humanity is gonna improve the way that we produce energy. We are already doing this, but I think in the roadmap, in the evolution of our improvement for energy sources, fracking plays an important role. I think basically natural gas is probably the evolution of the oil. So is ideal and could sound a little bit even romantic. Think that we are gonna have a world without fossil fuels, and that we're gonna have a world with renewable energy only. That we are not gonna contaminate the environment, and that we are gonna be all of us conscious, aware, sustainable. We're gonna help each other, and we're gonna work to create a better world. But this is a position probably very idealistic and utopic, especially thinking like businessmen or like business people. So we need to be rational and we need to be realistic about the situation. So the basically the main source of energy right now in the world and in the US is the oil. So this is causing so many problems: wars, pollution, global warming, um, politics, instability. I'm from Venezuela. My country produces a lot of oil, and part of this fact is the cause of the political problems in my country. So oil produces energy. We need energy. We need energy to eat. We need energy to work, to transport, to have a social life, to enjoy the world, to love each other. Uh, but we need feasible ways to produce this energy. No, and a feasible way right now to produce energy is the oil, but it's not a good one. So there are different sources. So there is another source, the natural gas, that is very important. In the U.S., specifically in New York, the main energy source is the natural gas. Natural gas is the energy source that most people in the New York State consume. So that means that in New York is already huge. There is a big potential. And if we check the numbers, we can say some numbers from the EIA, the Environmental Information Agency in the US. Basically, 26% of the energy consumption in the US was supplied by natural gas in 2011. And in 2040, the forecast is around 34%, again, 35% of oil. So the growing expected of gas is huge. So it's a fact. And it's a good fact because gas is more efficient than oil, is until 90% more efficient than oil. Gas is cleaner. It reduce it reduces around 30 and 50% of the CO2 emissions. And gas is cheaper. It's probably one third of the price of the oil. So it's a big potential, and there are so many oil and gas companies interested in develop this technology. But the problem is if we approach the extraction of gas in the traditional way, the profit maximization way, the business way, without considering other elements, other aspects, we're going to make so many mistakes. So the best practices are telling us there are different ways. And a good way to do it is simple, sit each other and talk and discuss. So we need to sit with environmentalists, we need to sit with governments, we need to sit with community, we need to sit with different people when we are gonna address any solution. So fracking is there, has been developed for oil and gas companies, and it has probably one single approach, one single mind approach, and the approach is profit maximization. So we need to expand this approach. We need to involve other dimensions in order to maximize the solution, to basically follow the Pareto optimal principle, what states that if we are gonna generate an equilibrium where everybody could gain, we need trade-off. And in the long term, this trade-off is going to be more beneficial even for every individual. So this is the case of fracking. No? Right now, yes, it's a technique that has so many controversials because it uses chemicals and water and sand to perforate the surface and to find the shell stones and liberate gas and extract this gas. So shell is basically the main source of natural gas so far. And fracking is basically the most effective way to take advantage of this source. So there are so many controversial, like there are so many environmentalists, Greenpeace, and other actors are already saying that fracking is bad. I don't think the fracking is bad. I think just fracking is in the first stage of the evolution. So this is a technology very powerful that require to be improved, and there is room for improvement. Um, in my research, there are already examples in Canada that are basically recycling most, maybe 70-80% of the water that they use for the process. So it reduces the amount of water that is required in the process. Also, in order to protect the surface and to protect the underground water, there are techniques to cover properly all the path that is being used. So in this way, um, the water and the chemicals are in certain way returned and protected, and it's possible to avoid the impact of uh, water contamination. So probably this is a discussion that environmentalists and scientists are having right now, and there are different sides of the situation. But there are enough proof that says that there are so many things that can be improved. And if companies, governments, citizens um, take consciousness of the advantage of this energy source and the possibility of improving fracking and use fracking in a safe way, it represents maybe almost a metaphor of sustainability because it's a way to produce the energy that humans need, especially U.S. needs, New York need, and it's possible with a framework of sustainability really create more positive aspects than negative aspects in this process.